Hello everyone, I'm here with the part 2 of the Cuban chain and pendant tutorial, and in this part we're gonna make the baby pendant. So let's dive into the tutorial. You can also find the project file of this tutorial in my Patreon. Firstly, we need model the letters, and I have this reference image which I'm going to model the letters according to it. I press 7 on the number pad to go to the top view. By the way, you can see what I'm doing right here if you got confused or if you lost anything. Now I'm gonna add a plane to my scene by pressing Shift A and choose plane, and then I'm going to scale it down and place it somewhere like here. Then I press tab to go to the edit mode and press these two vertices. Then you can move them up by pressing G and Y to move them in the Y axis. Now I'm going to add some loop cuts by pressing Ctrl R, and please do it in the same way I'm doing. Then I'm going to extrude edges by selecting them and hitting E to extrude them. And again, I'm going to add loop cuts and extrude edges to find the shape of the letters. And one more short key you need to know is F to fill between the edges. Now just see what I'm doing and do it in the same way. And don't forget to keep the geometry simple. To align a bunch of vertices in a straight line, just select them and press S, and in this case I'm going to press X and hit 0 to align them in a straight line in the x-axis. Then whenever I get down with one letter, I'm going to add a plane in the edit mode because I don't want to separate the letters into two or more objects. I finished modeling the letters, and I'm going to apply the scale of this object by pressing Ctrl A and choose a scale. Now I'm going to the edit mode and press A to select everything, then press I to insert and give the thickness to something like this. Then I hit A to select everything again, and I press E to give some depth to the pendant. Then I'm going to the top view by pressing 7 on my number pad, and then I just hit C to this circle appears, and after that I'm holding the left click on my mouse and just hovering on the faces which I inserted them earlier. If you select any other faces incorrectly, you can click on the middle button of your mouse on that face to deselect it. After selecting the faces, hit E to extrude them down to something like this. Then I'm going to create some simple diamonds. I'm going to start with the circle, and after adding the circle in this menu, I'm going to open it and enter 8 for the vertices. Then I'm going to the edit mode and press F to fill it, E to extrude it, and add a loop cut here and scale it up. Something like this sounds fine to me, and I'm going to the object mode, scale this down and place it according to the reference in my board. Then I'm going to duplicate it in the edit mode to fill all of the letters with it. And just make sure you are duplicating the diamonds in the edit mode in order to don't separate them into two or many other parts. After you get done with these diamonds, just select one of them by pressing L on that. Then press Shift D to duplicate it and move it to somewhere else like this. And while the diamond is selected, press P and choose selection. Go to the object mode, select the diamond and right click and set the origin to geometry. After that, apply the scale of that diamond. Then hide the diamonds which are in the word and select the word and go to the edit mode. Now I'm gonna add some loop cuts by pressing Ctrl R, and when I click where I want to add loop cuts, here I can see the number of my edge slide, and I'm going to hold Ctrl and go for -0.8. Now I'm going to do the same for each letter, and you should do it as well. After adding the loop cuts, I'm going to press C and select the faces which I inserted them and extrude them down earlier. After selecting them, I'm going to the object data properties and click on this plus button to add a new vertex group. Then click on the assign button and name this vertex group to whatever you want. I'm going to name it to small diamonds. Go back to the object mode and shade smooth them, then checkbox the auto smooth. After that, I'm going to name my diamond to something like S diamond object and hide my references. Then I'm going to the geometry nodes and select my word. Click on this new button to add a new geometry nodes to my word. Then here on the geometry nodes editor, I'm going to press Shift A, search for distribute points on face and put it here. Then add a join geometry node and put it right after the distribute points on face and connect this geometry to this. Then I'm going to add an instance on points, then put it here, and I'm going to bring my diamond from properties to geometry nodes editor and connect the geometry to instance. After that, I'm going to change this random to poison disk and connect this density factor to this empty point. And here on the modifier panel, I'm going to click on this and again click on this empty box and choose a small diamonds. In fact, it's my vertex group I created earlier. Then I'm going to increase this density max to something like really high number, like 2000 or more, and also increase this distance mean to 0.07 and scale them down by click and drag here to something like this. I've entered 5000 for Destiny Max and 0.37 for scale of these diamonds. Now I'm gonna unhide my bigger diamonds and I'm going to apply the materials we have already created in the last part to the objects. You should use the diamond material for that single diamond we duplicated in order to apply the material to the small diamonds. You can add a glitter texture to the metal material to make it look really shiny and cool. I will put the link of this texture in the description. So all you need to do is add an image texture node to your shader editor and open the texture. Then add a normal map and connect the color of the image texture to the color of the normal map. Then make sure the Node Wrangler add-on is on and select the image texture, then press Ctrl T. Select the object, go to the edit mode and press A to select all, then press U and choose Smart UV project. Then connect the normal of the normal map to the normal of the principal BSDF node and interfile for these three scale axes of the mapping node. Then you can increase the strength of the normal map. We are almost done, guys. Now I'm going to unhide the chain we have already created and connect it with this pendant with some simple objects. You can create a scene, set up the lighting and get some awesome renders. I prefer the cycles to get render of this because the cycles render engine really works better with glasses and things like this. Hope you all enjoyed of this video and learned something new, and if you have any suggestion for the next tutorials, tell me in the comments. I will definitely read and answer them. And again, if you are looking for the project file of this one, you can find it in my Patreon. Thanks for watching and goodbye.